It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The bootleg, it's Brissett. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
On third down, Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Brissett to throw on first. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Play action now. Brissett rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deeper. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. 2nd down, Brissett. Flushed out right. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Here we go! Flex round! Flex round!
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go, let's go.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And his first pass is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Bortles will try again on second down. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Daniels has it over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Here's Mack on the toss. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Staying on the ground with Mack. He's to the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Bortles. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Hey, 54, Ricky. Let's go, let's go.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Lucy. 372. Hank.
On first and 10, here's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
380. It's all right. Lucy. 11B. 372.
Bortles to throw on second down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Airing it out for Hurts. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run. This is Robert Turbin. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. Now
Mack. They find some open field here. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. The run, it's Robert Turbin, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go! Brand 38!
They'll run again here with Turbin. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Ohio! Flex round!
play fake. Brissett. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right. This is caught inside the 15. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run with Mack. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Ohio! Ohio! Check. Brando! Hut! Jump.
They'll run it with Mack. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
He's going to get it running right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Brissett. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out the just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here we go.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Green 80. Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Shaq Lawson. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a carry from Mack. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let
me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. He'll let it fly for Austin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Flex round! Flex round!
On second down, Brissett again. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Let's go! Flex round! Flex round! 190! Ohio! Ohio!
Brissett from the gun on third. He's going to wind up and air it out. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Rigoberto Sanchez on to punt. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Lucy, Lucy.
A final shot before half for Bortles. Breaks a tackle. Eluding the pressure right. Got his man there complete to Gallo. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are that way.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go, Rangel. 11, 11. 11B, 11B.
From the gun, it's Bortles. It's caught right side, it's Hearns. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ohio! Ohio!
Brissett now on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Daniels that time. 3rd down here.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ohio! Ohio!
On 3rd down, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
372. 380.
On second down, here's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
On third and long, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now a hit and a loose football. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
First down, Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Second down, Brissett. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They got to just take a deep breath.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
Little run here with Turbin. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Here's Mack. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is third down and 12. Out of the gun, Brissett. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
Bortles now to throw. Looking deep for Elliott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. It'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now a 1st down throw. Webb escaping the pressure right. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Caught Eifert over the middle. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
his position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air on 2nd down. Webb. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Bortles got to have this one. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. John Simon in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. A run by Mack to start the drive. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
On 3rd down. That's Mack. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he fires one incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
To throw again, Webb. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Al Woods. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey. Lucy.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he's going to go down again. Al Woods in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check. Green 80.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Lucy.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Bortles now on 1st down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Trying to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And that may just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball. Away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jaron Reed busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
A dump off to Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. One final try now for Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. So Charles are able to